At 6:45 p.m. on October 18th, flames shot up from the piers of the Xiangjiang Grand Bridge on Changsha's Ring Highway. Thick smoke billowed out, swallowing the entire bridge. Video showed black smoke mixed with sparks surging hundreds of meters into the sky and turning the evening red. This fire sent chills down people's spines. The bridge carries 100,000 vehicles a day and is a vital north-south artery across the river. Even more frightening, just 30 meters below the ignition point runs the natural gas corridor that supplies one-third of the city's households. Preliminary analysis suggests that the fire broke out during maintenance work, when sparks from painting operations ignited the scaffolding's protective netting and some construction materials. The terrifying half-hour blaze exposed the dangers of poor quality safety nets and lapses in oversight. Fires have been breaking out all across China. On August 12th, an explosion erupted in Xiangjiang Industrial Zone, Xiamen. A huge fireball shot into the sky. Flames instantly consumed part of the factory, and thick smoke blotted out the sun. The blast shattered windows in nearby homes, and a sharp chemical stench spread 3 kilometers away. The fire raged through the night, like a scene straight out of a disaster movie. Video circulating online shows the factory engulfed in flames, with an elevated highway beside it still carrying traffic, and the glow of the fire lighting up the night sky. Multiple blasts could be heard as flames and debris shot outward. Aerial footage reveals the blaze starting in the production zone, where 3-story outdoor framework allowed the fire to spread vertically. Residents within 200 meters of the site were shaken. Ms. Lee, who lives nearby, recalled, "It was like a bomb exploding right next to my ear." She was just about to cook when a deafening blast left her eardrums aching. Rushing to the window, she saw a black mushroom cloud rising from the chemical plant 500 meters away. The air was thick with a nauseating, acrid stench. The turpentine storage tanks of Zhongquan Biotech were on fire. Glass windows in several nearby apartment buildings shattered, with surveillance footage capturing window frames shaking. Many families grabbed their children and fled outside, and the stench lingered late into the night. Someone else said their dog was so terrified it hid under the bed and refused to come out. Can you imagine sitting down to dinner when suddenly a deafening blast shakes the house, your windows shatter in an instant? Anyone would break out in a cold sweat. Experts say the explosions were caused by extreme heat inside the production zone, which raised the pressure inside storage tanks or reactors until they blew apart. Fire safety expert Professor Zhang explained, "When a storage tank is heated, the internal pressure spikes. The first fire comes from open flames catching, but the second flashover happens when the combustible gases mix with air and reach a critical point. This kind of secondary explosion is even more destructive." Insiders later confirmed that the blaze started in the chemical plant's turpentine storage tanks. What is turpentine? Simply put, when this stuff catches fire, it's practically a chemical weapon. At best, it makes you dizzy and nauseous. At worst, it causes real harm to your body. According to 2025 monitoring data from Xiamen's Environmental Protection Bureau, burning turpentine releases more than 20 harmful substances, including methanol and acetone. This highly flammable liquid, commonly used as a paint thinner, packs explosive power. 1 kilogram has the force of about half a kilogram of TNT. Officials have claimed that no one was injured and that no toxic gases were released, but since the exact cause of the explosion has not yet been disclosed, the public has been abuzz with doubt. Many online comments question the official line. "That thick black smoke wasn't pollution? Do you believe that yourself? Nonsense." Experts say burning straw pollutes, but turpentine doesn't? Who are you trying to fool? One local resident said, "At 2 a.m., they called in a group of sanitation workers who knew nothing about the situation to help on site until daylight. Each of them only got 2 masks. You tell me, was it toxic or not?" Public records show that Xiamen Zhongquan Biotech Company Limited was founded in July 2004. Its business covers biotech services, the manufacture of chemical raw materials, fragrances and flavorings, and other household chemical products. But the most startling part of the story isn't the fire itself, it's what's behind it. An ex-user posted that although the authorities only acknowledged one major explosion at 5:20 p.m., in fact there was a second blast at 7:53 p.m. that night. The user speculated that the explosions may have been deliberate arson, possibly by an employee enraged over labor disputes. On the night of August 21st, around 10 p.m., another fire broke out, this time in Wuxiang Town Industrial Park in Ningbo, Zhejiang. A massive blaze tore through the grounds of Ningbo Jinwanhao Industry and Trade Company. The flames shot skyward, and a red mushroom cloud lit up the night sky. The inferno reduced the entire factory to ashes. Videos taken by bystanders show flames racing across the warehouse roof, tongues of fire licking the walls as black smoke billowed upward like a giant mushroom, visible from several kilometers away. A nearby resident recalled, "At first, I thought someone had left a light on too bright. Then I caught the smell of burning, opened the window, and realized the factory was on fire. Soon after, fire trucks started arriving one after another, their sirens wailing. It really made people panic." The fire raged throughout the entire night. One eyewitness said that it wasn't until 6 o'clock in the next morning that dozens of fire engines finally left the scene. After the flames were extinguished, footage showed the factory reduced to a wasteland of ruins. Another person remarked, "It was chemical raw materials burning. When our convoy passed by the next morning, the smell was still terrible." Officials reported no casualties and said the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Jinhuahao Industry and Trade was a fairly large company, mainly producing and selling plastic products, with side businesses in metal goods, lubricants, and petroleum products. The sudden fire destroyed the plant completely, and with it, the jobs many families depended on. In an already difficult year, this blow is even heavier. That same morning, around 5:40 a.m., another disaster struck in Lingui District, Guilin, Guangxi. Inside a workshop at Layan Natural Ingredients, a deafening explosion erupted, plunging the factory floor into chaos. Flames shot into the air. Thick smoke roared upward. The blast left one person dead and 7 injured, 3 of them seriously. According to the company's official profile, Layan is a leading global producer in the plant extract industry, the first publicly listed company of its kind in China. It specializes in natural health products. Reports say the explosion was caused by a drying machine. Residents a kilometer away said they heard the blast clearly. Incidents like these make it clear chemical plants are ticking time bombs. No one knows when they'll go off. On August 28th, another tragedy struck. A chemical plant in Changsha County, Huzhou, Zhejiang Province, exploded in flames, killing at least 2 people and injuring 3. Officials from the Huzhou Environmental Protection Department confirmed the facility was a chemical enterprise, the fire caused by burning reagents. Videos online show thick smoke towering into the sky. Residents nearby said they heard 2 loud blasts, and the shock waves shattered windows and brought down ceilings in surrounding factories. One local explained, "It happened around 7:40 in the morning. One of the workshops blew up. By the time I got to the factory next door after 8 o'clock, smoke was already pouring out." Another resident said, "My home is less than 4 kilometers away. Even there, the window shook." A woman recounted that her mother works in a nearby plant. She said their factory is just 1 or 2 minutes walk from the one that exploded. The blast warped the doors at her workplace. One commenter revealed that their neighbor died in the accident. Authorities later announced 2 dead and 2 injured, but a victim's family member contradicted the statement. 3 people were taken to the hospital. One of them is my brother. Locals suspect the real numbers are being covered up, as information about the explosion has already been scrubbed from the internet. This was no backstreet workshop. The company, Zhejiang Taichuan New Material Technology Limited, is a major player in the industry, located in Changsha County's southern industrial zone. The plant covers over 16 acres, with investments exceeding $1 billion. It was listed on the stock exchange in October 2015. It produces more than 50 products across 6 categories, including chemical intermediates, water treatment agents, textile and paper additives, daily use chemicals, and oil field agents. Just 2 days earlier, on August 26th, a huge fire broke out at a plastics factory in Zhengcheng, Guangzhou. The blaze sent roaring flames and thick black smoke into the sky, with the sound of explosions echoing through the area. The site is surrounded by metalworking plants and residential housing. At one point, the fire spread out into the roadway, and the smoke could be seen for kilometers. One witness said, "You could see the black smoke even through the Huangpu bounded zone." The inferno burned from 3 p.m. until about 6:30 p.m., before it was brought under control. On the evening of August 23rd, yet another fire broke out, this time at a chemical plant in Xiaogan, Hubei. Footage showed flames inside the workshop, sending thick purple smoke into the sky and spreading panic among residents. The colored smoke, experts note, likely came from chemical materials containing sulfur, nitrogen, or heavy metals. In chemical fires, different hues of smoke often signal the release of specific toxic substances. On the day of the Xiaogan fire, The temperature reached a blistering 39 degrees Celsius. Experts noted that such extreme heat may have accelerated the spread of pollutants and increased residents' exposure risk. The authorities have yet to release information on the size of the burned area or the exact damage caused. And it's not just factories. Hospitals have caught fire too. On the afternoon of August 26, a netizen in Jiangxi posted a video showing a blaze at Shangrao People's Hospital. Flames and heavy smoke were pouring from the upper floors of one of the inpatient towers. The hospital in question, the Wusan branch of the Shangrao People's Hospital, is located in the city center and is a major public Class 3 Grade A general hospital. Multiple upper floors of the inpatient building were engulfed. Smoke and burning debris rained down from the exterior walls. Videos from witnesses showed patients being guided out in an orderly fashion by relatives and medical staff, while ambulances shuttled back and forth, transferring patients to a new hospital campus. Clips of the evacuation spread widely on social media. Afterwards, images showed a blackened facade, shattered windows, and fire trucks with aerial ladders stationed against the hospital walls. One video highlighted air conditioning units and cable trays near the ignition point, raising questions about whether combustible cladding was used in the building's exterior. Discussion online went far beyond the fire itself. One user on Douyin asked sharply, "When robots are already replacing human labor in food delivery and factories, why can't they be used to handle the early stages of a hospital fire?" From a safety standpoint, experts pointed to two major risks exposed by this incident. Number one is combustible cladding. If the hospital's exterior insulation material is flammable, it could have accelerated the fire spread. Safety advisories stress that hospitals should use only non-combustible materials and establish monthly inspection mechanisms. Number two is electrical overload. In tall inpatient buildings, medical equipment and air conditioning systems run under heavy load for long periods. Without regular checks, aging wiring or equipment failures can easily trigger fires. And then there are fires in the skies. On August 28th, a power bank caught fire in the cabin of a Xiamen Airlines flight, delaying its departure by 2 hours. A passenger posted on social media, "On the flight from Dalian to Nanjing, just before takeoff, someone's power bank caught fire in the cabin. The smoke was awful. The Civil Aviation Administration should ban carrying power banks. This is risking the lives of a whole plane of people." Photos showed several passengers standing up and looking toward the source of the smoke, with white fumes drifting in the cabin. One commenter noted, "The flight was delayed for 2 hours." The original poster replied, "It scared me so much, I just refunded my ticket." That afternoon, Xiamen Airlines confirmed the incident to local media, saying the fire was handled on the spot and the flight eventually departed safely. This wasn't an isolated case. Several similar incidents have already occurred this year. On June 10th, on a Shandong Airlines flight from Zhuhai to Beijing, a passenger's power bank suddenly began smoking mid-flight. The crew quickly brought it under control, and the flight landed safely. 3 days later, on June 13th, another incident occurred. A Shanghai Airlines flight traveling from Zhengzhou to Changsha experienced a power bank catching fire mid-flight. Crew members and passengers worked together, pouring bottled water over the flames, and ultimately, the flight landed safely. Fires caused by Chinese-made power banks have become frequent. The root problem lies in serious quality issues, unqualified battery cell materials, lack of protective safety mechanisms, and poor manufacturing standards. These defects lead to overheating, short circuits, and in some cases, outright fires and explosions. As one netizen bluntly said, "Chinese-made power banks are just like their electric cars. They're moving bombs." Looking across these incidents, at least half of the fires were man-made disasters, and even then, these cases represent only a fraction of the total number of fires nationwide in just a few days. Within such a short time span, China saw multiple massive blazes, including 2 particularly catastrophic ones, in the biotech plant and the chemical plant blast in Zhejiang. These disasters ripped apart the facade of the Chinese Communist Party's so-called institutional advantage. Instead, the flames revealed the truth. What Beijing claims as an advantage has in reality become an institutional liability.